17 kids from the same class vanishing in the middle of the night without leaving a single trace. And what happens when the community starts pointing fingers at the only person left behind? That's just the tip of the iceberg in the movie Weapons.
Let's step away from what we usually know about horror movies. This one is different. It has a mystery that honestly had me on edge and completely hooked on the story as it unfolded.
And the most fascinating part is how the film makes you feel every step of the investigation, like you're living through it yourself. It's a visceral experience, my friends.
Exactly. And today, we need to talk about the mystery-driven narrative that makes Weapons so unique compared to other horror films. Why director Zach Cregger is a genius at turning the ordinary into something terrifying. How the movie's chapter-based structure makes it addictive, almost like a binge-worthy series. The deeper meaning behind the original title, Weapons, and how it completely changes the way you see the film once you understand it. Its final resolution, which for some might be a bold twist or a big letdown. And of course, our final verdict on this bold mix of genres. But before we dive in, if you're enjoying our content, support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. New videos every week.
I've got to say, I left the theater still trying to process this story. But one thing's for sure, this film sticks with you. It's one of those movies where days later, you're still thinking, what did I just watch? The premise grabs you right away. 17 kids from the same class in a small U.S. town mysteriously vanish from their homes at 2:17 a.m. The only one left is a boy named Alex, and suddenly the teacher, Justine, becomes the community's main suspect. It's such an intriguing setup.
Totally. And what I loved is how the film doesn't spoon-feed you answers. It invites you to investigate along the way. And here's where Zach Cregger's storytelling really shines. If you've seen Barbarian, you already know what he's capable of, but here he outdoes himself. He takes something totally normal, even banal, and slowly pushes it until it becomes a nightmare. It's like he takes a small stick and shows you it could ignite into a massive fire at any second. That's real talent.
Yes, and he does it so subtly at first that the transition from drama to suspense to outright horror feels seamless. You don't even notice it. You just feel the tension building. And the way he uses a chapter-based structure, brilliant. Instead of the classic 3-act formula where you can predict the beats, the movie shifts perspectives. First Justine, then Archer, the father of one of the missing boys, and then other characters.
That was genius. It's like watching a TV series where each episode feels complete, but still pulls you straight into the next. Here, it's the same, but in film form. You finish a chapter and immediately think, what's next? I have to keep going. It makes the movie insanely engaging. You don't even notice the time passing. And this puzzle piece approach gives you little bits of the story with each perspective until the bigger picture finally comes together. It's like a horror version of Rashomon. Now, I'll say this, maybe there were too many chapters. We had 6. Honestly, 5 or even 4 would have made the story tighter and less repetitive. Some arcs didn't really add much.
That didn't bother me as much, but I get it. It could definitely feel a bit stretched for some viewers. Still, I liked how Cregger plays with genres here. It's not just horror, it dips into drama, investigative thriller, and even a touch of humor, though, yeah, some people didn't love that. It's not a horror comedy, but there are moments so bizarre you can't help but laugh. But it never loses the seriousness of the story. And what I love is how Cregger builds tension without cheap jump scares every 5 minutes. His scares are crafted, sneaking up on you when you least expect them. Sometimes the scariest part is what you don't see, or just a subtle, wrong-looking movement. He manipulates your sense of reality in this masterful way, with calculated silences and sudden bursts of dissonant sound.
Exactly. The way he manipulates perception is top-notch. Another thing we need to talk about is the title. Weapons is so much deeper and, honestly, the key to understanding the movie.
Totally. At first, you might think the kids themselves are the weapons, or maybe the boy who wasn't taken, but the film goes way beyond that. It shows how everyone, the parents, the teacher, the cop, the school principal, the grieving father, has the potential to harm, manipulate, or destroy, physically, emotionally, or socially. It's a reflection on human nature, how the desperate search for someone to blame can lead to devastating consequences, and how a community already fractured from within can completely collapse.
That's the brilliance of it. Instead of giving us an obvious monster, it shows that true horror can come from anywhere, even in the smallest, most ordinary actions we use to attack each other. It's a powerful commentary on today's society, on sensationalism, on witch hunts, both real and online. A tiny spark can ignite a firestorm of hate.
And Cregger makes this point through incredibly complex and well-acted characters. Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, and even Alden Ehrenreich really impressed me.
Oh, and we can't forget the infamous Naruto run. Those little moments of absurd humor that break the tension and somehow make the scene even more bizarre and unforgettable. And the ending? No spoilers, but that final sequence is already one of the most debated in modern horror. Some loved it, some hated it. Personally, I thought the catharsis was worth it. It was unique, bold, and it hit me hard. Even though it uses a childlike archetype, I think that's what made it so impactful and polarizing.
It's an explosion of feelings. I left the theater satisfied, but with this lingering unease. Like the movie had poked at something way deeper than fear. A discomfort about the darkness that can hide in everyday life. So, bottom line, Weapons, despite its flaws, like some redundant chapters and a controversial resolution, is a damn good film.
Absolutely. To sum it up, Weapons is extraordinary. The storytelling pulls you into a mystery full of layers. Zach Cregger proves he's a filmmaker with real vision, blending drama, suspense, horror, and subtle humor in a way that works and keeps you hooked.
With its chapter structure, strong performances, and the layered meaning behind its title, Weapons isn't just another horror flick, it's an experience. A work that makes you reflect on human nature, community, and the dangers hidden in everyday life.
Weapons, even with its divisive points, is without doubt one of the best films of the year. If you like this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what you thought about the film, or if we missed anything.
That's it, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us for our deep dive on Weapons. We'll see you in the next video and in the comments.